Welcome to another edition of the Brewery Boys Expedition Podcast. I'm Ricky J. here with Max B. How you doing, Max?
I am doing excellent, Rick. I'm actually double fisting thanks to you and your hospitality tonight. I've actually got the Oktoberfest, one of the last cans of the Oktoberfest. Still just a few available in the tap room. And then I got this beauty right here, which I think you called the red-breasted alien, or what was this?
Red Breast 12-year aged.
Red Breast 12-year age Irish whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very smooth. I'm telling you, I'm drinking it faster than I thought I would, but I'm really enjoying it.
Well, it is very smooth. And what was funny is when I went to Ireland last year, I thought that if it was aged longer, it would be smoother, but I found that not to be the case. I did some 12, I think it was 16 and 24.
Did a little market research over there?
Did a little market research.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, you got to do that. You got to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I found that the 12 was the smoothest, and I think it's very good. It's definitely a reliable go-to.
Nice. You know, everybody thinks because we obviously have a brewery that we only drink beer, and we do drink our fair share of beer.
Yeah, and I've got a little miners going, a little chaser. Yeah.
But we also enjoy other libations. We've been known to drink some tequila, especially some of the well-aged añejo and reposado varieties. Yeah. And we've been known to drink some whiskey, and gosh, we even throw down a vodka cran once in a while. So
yes, we have. And you know, that reminds me, I get the emails every now and then. I have not ordered from Sip Tequila. They should be a sponsor of ours. Sip Tequila you can get the high-end tequila like you've had. And so good. Tell the story about Cody Canada when you had that super high-end tequila.
Gosh, yeah. We were, I think it was one of his first trips through. I was giving him a tour, and in my office, which is not part of the tap room in any way, shape, or form, there happens to be some other forms of alcohol in my personal space.
Exactly.
And the tequila was there, and it was like probably 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And they're loading in, the crew's loading in all their stuff, and I'm just giving Cody a little tour, and we're cruising through my office, and I, you know, he mentioned something about, because I had some other tequila bottles, like there's the one that looks like the glass gun and stuff, and he mentioned something about a tequila, and I said, oh man, I've got some amazing tequila that we're going to have to try. And in my mind, I was thinking maybe like after the show, maybe a little later on in the evening, maybe right before the show, but I wasn't really thinking like before lunch.
You weren't thinking like a musician.
Yeah. And so I was telling him about this amazing tequila, and that we had first got introduced when we were down in Mexico at a tequileria, which is like a distillery, but they make tequila there. And it was just an amazing, very smooth, not like a normal tequila that I had been exposed to growing up. And so after telling him about all this, you know, I'm like putting it back, and he's like, well, are we going to drink it or what? I said, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
of course we
might
are.
as well. Yeah,
let's get a shot
Wonderful
glass.
idea.
So, and the other thing is, you know, it's not really a shooter. It's kind of a sipper tequila, right? Kind of a dessert tequila, if you will.
Yeah, it's not a shoot it, do the salt and lime.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. It's very smooth. But anyway, fun story, fun experience. And that's become kind of a special tequila between us. And I've given him a bottle, and we've met him at different music festivals and had the tequila. So was kind of a fun intro to our relationship. So
it is excellent tequila, and I need to order some more. I never thought of a tequila being a sipping, something you would just sip and enjoy.
Yeah.
But I can pour a little bit of that, sip it, play some guitar, and sip on it for an hour or so.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Really super smooth. So there's some good liquors out there. You know, we got some good stuff here in town too. I mean, down at the Gulch, I was just down there the other night. Some of our staff was down there, and the wife and I just watched a movie, and we got out of the movie, and Karen said, oh, some of the staff is over at the Gulch, which is right there by the theater. So we stopped by and had a couple of cocktails. Stefan and the guys down there do an amazing job. I just love how everything is like handmade.
Right.
It might take them like 8 minutes to make the cocktail because they're muddling stuff and they're taking, orange
it's cool
zest
to watch.
And the flavor is just amazing. They're so complex. They have so many different layers of flavor to them. I really, really enjoy. Don't get down there enough. I enjoy a really well-made cocktail, and I'm willing to pay for a good, well-made cocktail.
Right. Well, when they've done that for our parties, for the staff parties,
amazing.
I mean, they've just done such a fantastic job.
They do great. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the brewery and the tap room.
Let's do it.
Got all sorts of good stuff coming up this week. Of course, everything's starting to ramp up. This next month and a half is just going to be crazy.
Let the holidays begin.
Absolutely. And people are going to be out there shopping and going crazy. And so a lot of people are looking for that kind of release. And we certainly have a lot of that lined up. So this week, of course, we got trivia on Wednesday night. Always crazy busy for trivia. Starts at 7:30. And then Thursday, we got Cowboy Bob and Gypsy Dust. I didn't get to check them out last time they were in, so I'm going to swing down there and check them out this time.
Oh, good, nice, good.
I got some pretty good feedback, so
yeah.
I think they're going to do well. And then the big party this week has got to be Hairtrain. I mean, these guys really only play, I think, our place, and they may have played one other place. So they're all musicians from different bands over the years.
Right.
2 or 3 of them from the original Clinton's band. And this is going way back when they used to have, 6 or 7 members.
Right, like
way back.
2004 or something like that.
And, of course, Josh from El Wincho and Ian from the old Clinton's band, and just some really high-quality musicians that, they've all gone separate ways in life and have their careers, but they love to get together and jam. Got, everything from keyboards to great guitars to drums to, you got a full kit, and then you got Josh on percussion. I mean, they can cover a lot of really cool stuff from the 80s with all that gear and that talent.
Well, you can tell it's songs that they enjoy, and they're just having a blast,
Yeah, and they got 3 or 4 different people that can sing, and so that allows you to cover a wide range of stuff.
Right.
And so we're super stoked about that. Party's going to get underway at 8 o'clock. Doors at 7. That one's a $5 cover charge, but we are going to be giving away some gift cards. I think we're giving away $25 gift cards for the top male, top female, and then $25 for the top couple that are dressed up in 80s, and then probably a $50 gift card for the overall winner. And we'll, of course, use our audience applause-o-meter to decide who that winner is. And so that all happens this Friday, actually coming up on the 17th. It's going to be a fun night. And then Saturday, of course, big college football game. I don't know if I know a couple of years ago it meant a lot, but this might be one of the most meaningful matchups. Yeah, because whoever wins this flat out wins the Big Sky.
Right.
And so to be able to control, and I think also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they even get like home field during the playoffs.
Oh, really?
So pretty big deal for both teams, and obviously always a big deal every year. And it doesn't matter whether one college has a 4-8 record and one has an 8. That game is just of its own entity,
Oh yeah, within this state for sure.
Yeah, just so much, anxiety and tension and excitement and passion, and so it could always go either way. Should be a really good game.
Well, I'm a little nervous how big a game it is.
And you're actually going to be there.
I'm going to be there. So,
wow.
So Carl is taking me, and I said, Carl, let me pay for the ticket. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Now that it's such a big game, I'm a little concerned about what he may want. Sorry, Robin.
You never know
I know that he won't want that, Robin.
Are you guys going to spend the night or just
no?
Just
go over there. Yeah, it's a good morning game, so we'll go over your early game.
Yeah.
So we'll go over, and I want to get back by the Nebraska game. So.
Oh, sure. Cool. No, that's going to be
I see. I forgot to take the banner down. So
until we're paying homage.
Yeah, until we get a Lewis and Clark or a beer banner to hang up in its place.
Cut.
Start
over.
Yeah. Reverse.
So then that night after the game, we'll have Dan Henry, one of our favorite local musicians, very talented guy, plays guitar.
He really is.
Harp,
yeah.
And, I mean, he can really kind of pull off a show by himself, and there's not a lot of people that can do that, but he does a good job at that. And then looking a little bit further down the line, the night before Thanksgiving, you get a lot of people coming into town, families coming into town, and they go out and have a beer and see what's going on in town before they get ready to spend all that quality time with the family on Thanksgiving. So that night, the 22nd, I believe we are looking at. Yeah, Wednesday, November 22nd, a huge party at the Tap Room. 10 Years Gone, one of the most popular bands we have on a regular basis.
Now, Max, how much is that? Like $100 ticket?
Oh, gosh. I think that one there is going to set you back about $5. Yeah, so that'll be another $5 hit.
$5? I don't know. I guess I could skip a cup of coffee during the day. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. So that's going to be a fun party starting at 8 o'clock. And then looking a little further down the line, that Friday after Thanksgiving. So if you've spent all day Thursday with your family and you can no longer stand each other and you want to get out and see what's going on, we got Montana Neon Ridge Friday night in the Tap Room. And then Saturday, we got Damn It, Lauren and the Well out of Bozeman.
Oh, yeah.
Always bring a great crowd and some great rock and roll. And then on... looking a little further down the line, I know we're still filling November 30th, or did we get Rocket to Uranus for that?
We did, yeah.
Okay.
They're going to fill in for, yep.
Right, awesome. So Rocket to Uranus on November 30th. Then, of course, free beer bingo, December 1st, just kind of looking a little further out. December 2nd, we have Lark, and then I had to get to December 7th because that's a biggie. That's Laney Lou and the Bird Dogs, last show in Helena, Montana with the original lineup. And tickets are really going well. Probably the better selling show so far this year. I fully expect to sell out. We're about 50% sold out now. So if you've been waiting to get your tickets for that, that's going to be an amazing show. December 7th. They always put on a phenomenal show, but there's going to be a lot of emotions flowing last time in Helena with the full band and the whole group. So it's going to be a great show. It's
exciting to see the band do so well. And it's a bummer that it's our last show as that band, but I'm sure they'll all go on to do some great stuff.
Yep. I'm sure I know the Bird Dogs are still going to continue, and we'll definitely have them back. But again, these guys have been, I think it's a little over 10 years now, and they've been coming into our place for a long time. And just every time they came, the crowd just got bigger and bigger, and people started talking about them more and more. So that's going to be a really, really fun show. So
that's great.
Super looking forward to that. And then, of course, we'll be talking in the next week or two about all the stuff that you and I are putting the final details into over the next holiday period, the Christmas to New Year's period. Always some great live music during that time frame. So we look forward to bringing some great bands and throwing some hellacious parties between Christmas and New Year's.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun holiday season, and it gets, obviously, it's our dark time. We have to get ready for that. We've enjoyed such a beautiful summer, and we've had a really nice fall.
Yeah.
We've been blessed, and even right now, there's no snow on the ground right now.
Yeah, we got dumped on, and that was like, oh my God, get the snowblower out. Let's figure out how to do this stuff again. And now we're back to, okay, I can deal with this. And I was telling you as we were getting set up here tonight that I'm trying to look at winter a little bit more positively. I'm trying to figure out, I have skis, so I should go skiing at least a couple of times this year. We should go up and do
definitely.
That. And I went down the YouTube rabbit hole and ice fishing of all things. And of course, I know enough people that do that I could borrow enough gear to try it, because I don't want to invest a lot of time and energy into something that if I'm not enjoying it.
Right.
And in order for me to enjoy it, I think I'm going to have some sort of shelter.
Well, what's amazing,
and a heater.
You just say that. I saw this amazing ice shelter. It's like a luxury ice shelter. I just saw.
We can camp in it.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Oh my God. You'd be like happy. It's probably got a TV connection. Lord only knows.
Yeah.
It was.
Get the Starlink.
Oh, it was.
Got the internet going.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
I know there's definitely a lot of that going on in the Midwest and Minnesota, Wisconsin. Those areas just go crazy over ice fishing. But I actually, when I typed in ice fishing Canyon Ferry, there was a lot of people that have posted videos about Canyon Ferry ice fishing. Because was really kind of cool.
Yeah, you can get out there. You can get out to places you can't get unless you have a boat. You know, and
I mean, it's a little bit spooky to see them just cruising across with a pickup truck, pulling a trailer. That trailer, that trailer that actually got from your brother years ago that we still haven't done anything with. We could turn that into an ice fishing hut. A guy cut a hole in the bottom of it, and then he just has the sleeve that goes down to the ice, so they're fishing right out the back of the trailer. But I always thought that first person that says, okay, yeah, I think that's good. I think we could drive my truck on that. That first guy, he's got a little bit of that pucker factor. Like,
well, this was years ago. I was in high school, and be a family relative and my brother, adult brother, and I go out. It's like 3 inches of ice. You could literally see the scooper on the other side of the ice.
Oh, wow.
And my brother, and I guess I followed along blindly, said, "Oh no, it's early spring. It's fall ice, so it's only going to get thicker. So you don't have to worry about it getting thinner." This was on like a river portion of this. So you go through your current. I mean, you're not popping
you're
right
not
back up where you.
To that same hole.
And you had to at the edges you had to like kind of jump over to the ice. It was free on the edges.
Oh wow!
Now, right now, I would never go out on ice like that. But I will tell you, the three of us caught over 200 fish.
Wow!
It was insane.
What were they?
A lot of perch.
Okay.
And so we, it was in those days you could have like buku poles and we had a bunch of poles, and then we finally got down to just a few poles you just pull them out, throw them on the ice, pull them out, throw them on the ice.
Wow!
And we got done and then went back, long night, cleaned them all, filleted them all, and then the next weekend had a big fish fry for the whole families and everyone. It was so good. So good, but
I would really love to get into one of those situations where you're pulling them out and you're reloading it about as fast as you can.
Oh yeah, it was insane. We couldn't keep up with all the poles we had. You were just it was, and other people.
That's what you call harvesting.
Yeah, what happens is other people start getting closer and closer to you. They drill holes closer and closer to you. It's like
you guys have the magic spot.
Oh, it was phenomenal. But yeah, I would never go out on ice like that again in my life.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure other people have gone before us. If we're going to try this out this year, but if we do, that would be a good time to start doing some mobile video.
It would be
show insight and ice shanty.
No, we would take some schnapps. along.
Exactly. We'll stay warm one way or another. We're staying warm. So. Which reminds me, this is getting into the nice hot spring season, so we're gonna have to sneak out and check out the live music one of these nights out at the Broadwater.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because they're still doing it every Tuesday, right? It's like Tuesday night.
I think they might have changed it to Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay,
I'll have to look at their Facebook again and see. But I normally don't enjoy it as much in the summer, but I tell you, when it's 40 or high 30s, it's amazing to go. Sit in that warm water.
I like. I definitely, when I had my hot tub, in the wintertime is when I used it, and especially if it's snowing or if it's below zero, if your hair is freezing, if it's out of got wet and it's out,
that's beautiful.
That's when it's beautiful. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
and I think we both got some guitar gear coming. We're going to start. Get the old band back together.
Getting the band back together, baby. They probably don't know. We had a band back in the day.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the original Sleeping Giants.
In our own mind.
The Sleeping Giants. Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
We played, we played the...
We're so big we couldn't all fit in the kettle.
Yeah.
So.
Remember we played up in Great Falls at the
Harley shop.
At the Harley shop a couple times. And then we played the Sting. And remember the lady that I didn't even see it, but I guess the lady that flashed.
Oh yeah,
and one of the players in the band was a pastor and got flashed. So apologize for that, but
no, that
gosh, it was fun.
Yeah, that was one of those iconic moments as a band. You're like, okay, well, check that one off the list.
Remember they rode a Harley into the bar.
Yeah,
and people are having a good time when they ride a Harley into the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a fun show. We weren't the most talented musicians, but we didn't suck.
Yeah, and we gave a lot of shit away for free, so that always helps too.
That helped too. Yeah, yeah. So
we're looking to we're looking to reincarnate that atmosphere, and so as we get a little further down the road, hopefully we'll try a little gig or two at the tap room, and then
then hit the road, baby.
Hit the road, yeah.
It'd be fun to do some tap takeovers. Get a couple extra beers throughout the market. We go to Wyoming, we pick 4 or 5 places.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
as we sweep through and do some special stuff, it'd be a lot of fun. And I think we could do some stuff that I think people will enjoy.
Yeah. We have a new distributor in Wyoming over this last month or so. We just launched into Wyoming, and actually Mike Colgan, who's the GM, was the GM in Cheyenne, has now moved up to Cody at Quality Brands, and he was in the tap room Friday night. He came in. His son went to Carroll and now lives in Spokane, but they met here because it was halfway. And so, they're excited about the beer. It's been going well.
Good.
Halo is the number 1 seller down there. Those Wyoming folks love the Huckleberry at this point, so that's good. Speaking of beer, a couple of beers coming down the pipeline. We have the Vanilla Porter that should be out within probably about 10 days to 12 days. And that's going to be the first vanilla porter we've made in at least, 8-10 years that I can remember. And it's a special beer we're doing for Buffalo Wild Wings, but we'll have it on tap in the tap room as well. And then first part of December, we are looking to brew a really big, like 11 to 12% Imperial Stout, and looking forward to that. That'll be kind of nice to have a good, nice big beer, kind of warm your insides over the holiday time. Still have a little bit of the Oktoberfest I mentioned. We are totally sold out of the draft, but we have some in cans. The pumpkin, we actually stopped selling growlers of that this last week because we're going to be running out. We're trying to stretch it out as much as we can. We'd love to get to Thanksgiving if we can.
Right.
We may not make it.
And then probably blow out the last 2 kegs, put them back on, said,
just
for the party.
Just for the party on that Wednesday night. And
you'll put it back on Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday will be closed for Thanksgiving, but Wednesday night for the kind of the pre-Thanksgiving party,
and then Friday is the big...
Yeah, and we'll probably still have... Because we're going to save 2 for that, so we'll probably blow through 1 on Wednesday and 1 on Friday.
Gotcha.
And then it'll be gone for good. So if you haven't gotten your fair share of pumpkin, get down there and get some, because...
I don't think I've had any pumpkin.
Oh, my gosh. It is really good this year. I've been enjoying it myself as well. And hopefully next year, we were able to get enough pumpkins from Westmont this year that we have canned them. And so baked and canned, and now we can get it done a little sooner next year because we're always waiting for those pumpkins to be done because we use real pumpkins. So now we can get it done sooner and we have more of it. So we're hoping next year that we'll be able to can it. It'll probably be a very limited run, kind of like the Oktoberfest, just a labeled can, and probably sell it primarily out of the tap room and maybe a couple local stores in town.
I wonder if some people even know what canning is anymore.
I think most people. I think most people consume their beverage out of a can.
No, but I mean because you canned the pumpkin. Not you're saying.
Oh, you mean canning?
Canning.
Oh, canning fruits and vegetables.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, probably not. There's probably not a lot of people that actually, know how to get the old mason jars and the Kerr lids and use a pressure cooker, and that's kind of a lost art. That is probably one of those things that. Most people, when they think something's canned, they buy it in a can and they open it up and they pour it out.
It's like, no, you used to have to take something fresh, go through this process to can it so that it would still be good 6-7 months down the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you look at, it's kind of the opposite between what they did a lot in the Midwest to preserve things, and then what they did like down in the South to preserve things with all the extra spices and things like that. So kind of interesting that over time we got lazy because we got a fridge and a freezer.
The fridge, freezer, and we got amazing. And it is amazing if you think of what the farms grow in California and all the fruit and everything we get year round and what we import. It is
that
phenomenal.
Whole shipping
we get
thing
super spoiled.
Is pretty crazy. I mean, I remember growing up and our local, it was called Bay's grocery store in Corvallis, Montana. And there was like half of the store that you could shop in, and half of the store was like all the back stock.
Right.
And over the years, there's no more back stock.
Yeah.
It's the trucks are coming in.
Right.
And they're basically stocking what they have, and now I've even gotten out of the habit of even asking, do you have any more of this in the back? Because they don't have a back anymore. Right. But for years that was the way it was. It was okay. Well, we only get a truck once a month, so we got to have all this room to store it. Now they're getting trucks every day. So
wow, yeah, it's phenomenal. And I mean, you used to have to say, okay, if I want peaches, outside of peach season, it's going to be canned.
You'd have to can it.
Yeah. And that's just not the way it is anymore. So it's a great thing until the system fails.
Until the trucks stop driving. Yeah. And then we're all
How do we can that?
We're hungry.
Yeah. How do we can that?
Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm leaving what I would say but early for me, like 6:30.
Oh my goodness. I was going to say 10, but
yeah. 9 is early. 8 is whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Why?
But 7 is like, oh, you must be hunting, or fishing, or something really important.
But now it's even before that.
So no, I'm taking beer down to Idaho Falls, and
good.
Part of that transportation issue that we're talking about is it's getting tougher and tougher to get reliable transportation, especially at a good price, but even just reliable to some of the locations that we're selling the beer right now. And so for us to get beer to Idaho Falls, we got to the point where we had to ship it from Helena down to Salt Lake City. Then it transferred to another truck, come back up to Idaho Falls. And same thing with Boise. So we just decided, we'll just start driving it down. We have a beer truck.
Right.
We'll drive it down ourselves, save that money, and then I can bring back a bunch empty. So tomorrow I'll be probably listening to your other podcast on the way down.
Well, thank you.
And then probably picking up a couple other podcasts on the way back. Actually, I listened to a pretty good one on the way back from Idaho that I was meaning to tell you about. It's called the Meat Eater podcast. And some guys that are hunters, but certainly, very conscious about, wildlife management and stuff. And the whole controversy right now going on over these corner crossings where you have this state land where you have a corner of it here and another one here, and they only touch in the corner. And so it's called checkerboarding. And so for years, there's a lot of huntable ground that you just can't get to because you can't legally cross. Well, someone in Wyoming has challenged that, and they built a ladder that goes from one corner to the other.
Good.
And they walk up over the airspace and go in. And of course, now became a big deal. It's already up to the federal appeals court, but the lower courts have ruled that, hey, you didn't touch their land. And so you could literally open up thousands of acres of hunting.
Good.
So,
I mean, we need to have accessible public grounds.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a private property rights guy too.
Yep.
I believe you buy this, you don't, you that's your property. But on the other side, if there's public ground available, that needs to be open to the public.
Yeah.
And you've got
and
young
to have
hunters.
all of that surrounded by private, and then these guys,
So now they can manipulate the public ground too.
Yeah.
And you have the big thing is hunting is, if we don't help facilitate that, it's going to be a lost thing.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless the young hunters that are out there and learning what it takes to put food on a table, And
because the alternative is then the government has to step in and start eradicating some of the species that are going to end up,
Or the only way to hunt is to go pay some group that has done this and manipulated. And we see that with bird hunting and pheasant hunting and things like that. We see these sort of, and I'm sure overseas and stuff like that, if you're going to go hunt certain big game and stuff like that, I'm sure that you're not just going to go over. You're not going to hunt any free land.
Yeah.
You're going to have to hire someone to go and hunt. And so do we really want that in the United States?
It's kind of similar to, I just watched a PBS special actually the other night. Yes, I do watch PBS on access, and it was stream access. And of course, over the years, there's been, a lot of wealthy people that have moved to Montana that have felt like, hey, I own both sides of the creek, so you can't come up the creek and fish. This is my land, and it takes a little bit of education for them to understand, no, that's not your land.
Exactly.
The streams are our land, and so as long as you stay below the high water mark, which in some cases means you're in the water, but hey, you can have at her and go all the way up and down that stream. So,
well, Ted, Buffalo Ted Turner, dude, he obviously owned a lot. And several years ago, I went to a course that one of the co-teachers was a former Vietnam-era Army Ranger who basically made it his mission in life to hump miles of Ted Turner's river onto that land to fish that, just to annoy the hell out of him.
Just to let him know that, hey, I'm doing what I can do.
I kind of got to appreciate that.
It's kind of like, you and I had an opportunity to, I don't know if we actually met Huey Lewis, but you handed him his harmonicas.
Yeah, remember underneath this. So it was back when I could still see well.
Yeah.
And he couldn't. And he was sitting in with that band his harmonicas he laid out on our table. It was kind of a little darker because it was in the shade.
Yeah.
And he comes over and he says, hey, don't steal these, but hand me a C. I'm like, here you go. And then he came over a couple times and asked for other harps.
So he was one of the ones in the PBS article. He's one of the ones that tried to restrict
Yes, he did.
access
I remember that.
in the Bitterroot and tried to get a stream classified as an irrigation canal instead of a stream. So, all that. And, it's one of those things where, hey, I get it. It's beautiful. And if you can possess it, there's this natural desire to want to keep it to yourself. But understanding that, the reason that it is so beautiful and the reason that it's such a cool resource is that it belongs to everyone. You just have amazing access to it. You can fish from your deck.
There's going to be in the big picture, there's going to be so few people that are actually going to hike up the stream.
Exactly.
Now, more so, we find those things where you have trails that have gone through property for years, and should those be sustained or not sustained? Those become a little more, because if you have someone walking potentially by your house to get to a certain spot, I could see where that could be somewhat annoying.
Yeah, and I think that
if they're hiking up a stream, come on.
Yeah, and in many cases, if there is that, like you say, then it was designated almost as like a Forest Service access, or it's no different really than even in Hawaii. You can't own the beach. You can have beachfront property,
right?
And there you'll find every once in a while there's going to be a public access that goes down from even through the rich neighborhoods,
right? Because
they're trying to give people access to those beaches, but. In Montana with this streams, I mean, there's certainly plenty of properties that are, hundreds, if not thousands of acres that, like you said, people are not going to make the commitment to walk up because, I mean, if you've ever walked up a stream, it takes a long time to get a mile or two and a really long time to get 10 or 20.
Right.
So when you're talking big ranches, they really do still have kind of the land to themselves.
Yeah, when you have hundreds of acres and you've got a stream running through those hundreds of acres, someone is really committed if they're humping 6, 7, 10 miles up through that.
There's got to be some amazing fishing.
That's a former Vietnam-era Army Ranger that's dedicated to do that.
That's like when you and I did the Beartooth Mountain. I think it was the what's it called? The Hidden Path or the... The one over in
the beaten path.
The beaten path.
Yeah.
And remember, we ran into that group of guys from North Dakota where one had broken his leg, and they climbed up to the middle of nowhere
in jeans
no
and didn't
trails.
have any equipment. They had
they
canned
were
food.
Hands and knees getting up there because the fishing was so good. I mean, cutthroat trout. I think they were 19 to 24 inches, and so it would have to be fish like that,
right,
to get a guy to walk that far.
Yeah, that would be insane. But well, Max, we kind of covered what's going on. We've had a great chat. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. I think just looking forward to the holidays, and we got a lot of stuff I know you and I got in the works that'll be fun to put together between some new marketing relationships we're about to announce and some new live music relationships we're going to announce, and then going through the whole history of the brewery. So look forward to cranking out more of these in the future.
Well, then for Max P, I'm Ricky J. Cheers.
Cheers.